many wide open hallways for people to be able to kind of hide, sneak out some kills is going to be there. Is it going to be a part of the strategy? Maybe not 100% of the way, but to catch somebody on rotation, that is going to be something some of these players are looking to do on a Regency, along with hold out those corner spawns, Colin. When the hill is on those corners, getting and holding those spawns are going to be very and very important for both of these teams. You know, eUnited does it well, but it's going to be up to Oxygen to match them.
Definitely going to be up to Oxygen to try to win these initials. I love that Abolics has got a little bit of help from Rocky in the middle. They try to overwhelm eUnited at the M bar so they can get it into their hands. Abolics misses one shot, and then Powerz calls him out. I mean, just read him like an absolute book there, getting that opening kill. And it looks like it'll be 2 dead for both sides here in the early initial. Oxygen will have the initial point scheme, and they're going to be able to go with this first setup. The M-bar was not dropped. I don't see it in the hands of Powerz. It was indeed backpack. So it's going to be all of the default weapons coming into this one so far. Flash is out. Kenny's going to try to take over the back. Good back A out of him, but not going to be able to find a down or a kill. Trying to just stay in the hill to keep them from being able to mount up as much time as they possibly can on this one. Rocky will get taken out by Kenny over the cover, and now you see 2 more players from Oxygen having to fight for their lives inside of the hill. But that's a beautiful retake and an early sit down by eUnited. And you see them trying to fly off to the side of the map to try to set up to really not let Oxygen get back into that positioning. They're forcing them away from the hill.
Yeah, you already know where the hills are going to be located at. I know Rubik's prepared eUnited very, very well, kind of where the rotations are going to be. And that hill was, I don't want to say it was easily broken, but it was broken mainly because of Praized in that one. He attacked the center of the map, and that was going to be a crucial angle for Oxygen to kind of hold on. And you could kind of see it at one point. I think it was 20 seconds, both teams conceding that one away because they realized this next hill is important. Abolics is getting crossed out right now from 2 different angles. eUnited know how important holding this spawn is.
And you see the way that Abolics is just trying to keep his head down. Xplosive is down in that cubby corner. They finally finish him off. You see Kenny try to throw that flash to get up there and get that revive off, and now it's going to force eUnited to try to move in through the spawn area. Beautiful back A's out of Zoom. I mean, look at the way they flooded toward that left side of the map. That's a beautiful job, able to get those kills, able to secure them. Now they're going to be able to set up continuously on this hill and force eUnited to come all the way across the map, and they are continuing to stagger the spawns of eUnited here. eUnited's not able to make it across the map with all 4 players alive.
Yep.
They are having to push against it at 3.
Yeah, not only they stagger the spawns, like you said, they forced them to kind of spawn out. They got a little bit of split spawn, but I mean, the silver lining here is they got the M-bar, they get the shot grenade. If they're able to break this, I would guess around maybe 30 seconds left. So they're going to be able to keep this one rather close if they can solidify it, but it's going to come down to this fight here. How good is Oxygen's defense? A couple downs coming through. Cleanups as well. They take out Powerz, the big M-bar player. 3 players dead, and you got to know Kenny is spotted out. He's going to be stuck on no man's land here. It's all about wasting time. You die at the wrong time. You're with 27 seconds left. You're going to see Oxygen begin to press out, get out on the field, and make the next rotation even harder for eUnited. So Oxygen, coming off a hot win from Hive yesterday, are continuing to build on that momentum from eUnited.
I'm not going to lie to you, PR, based on some of your recent tweets. Every time I see somebody get marked and you mention it, I'm like, is he upset right now? Is he a little
bit? I'm upset for him, man. There's no sneaky plays. You get caught out. You get seen through a wall. But I mean, in the Pro League right now, you got to believe their communication is on point. So I don't think it's too big of a difference here at the highest level play, but you can kind of sneak out and snuff out some of those sneaky plays. But already you see where the next hill is going to be. That's not going to be no secret. That big next is going to let everybody know. And you can already see Oxygen. They're going to have to let this one tick up a little bit with 2 grenades in the hands of Pushyz. He's going to be the one to kind of, I wouldn't say lead the charge, but be the huge difference maker. And if Oxygen's going to retake this or not.
Right now, what it is Oxygen's going to try to find this push right here through the middle. I like this by Pushyz. He's just continuously trying to press up. He's got frags in hand. A good frag by Pushyz could actually break this thing wide open because you see 2 of them. I love that. He knows where that big window is. He's probably practiced this thing. It lands just to the left of Praized, but he gets the roll out just in time. I think if he landed it inside of those couches instead of out, he would have been able to get it. But Pushyz throws the second one, ensuring the kill. They get the double up there, and now it's 4v2. All eUnited can do is kind of just catch up as much as they can in the point situation and just back out of here because they're probably going to be down by 30 after this next retake by Oxygen. An absolutely fantastic and beautiful job by Oxygen, and they secure the M-bar in the hands of Zoom. Beautiful body shot there onto Powerz. That'll set him down momentarily. Here comes the flank. They're going to try to get him to get taken out, but Praized immediately gets ran up on by 2 more members of Oxygen. Their teamwork has been on point thus far in map number 1.
Yeah, right now you got to give Oxygne all the credit in the world. They're doing a good job of just really shutting down eUnited as a whole. They're making sure their deaths are staggered. Nobody is really able to heat up. You see the next hill being rotated. Zoom, right place, right time. Not only get the M-bar, but save his teammate, but that was only a momentary save. You see eUnited got to be able to pick up a kill. Pushyz once again with the frag grenades. He made a difference last time, but can he do it again? Frag grenades going out. They were able to get one, but that's where it ends. Oxygne lose 2 players, so all the great praise for Pushyz on that grenade kill. That's where it's going to end. No, they find out Powerz out of position. They're once again continuing to stagger the deaths of eUnited, and everything eUnited is doing right, they're beginning to one-up them in these situations. But I would say eUnited doing a good job of keeping this one close, fighting tooth and nail for everybody in this position. But once again, multiple players from EU are going to fall.
Yeah, eUnited is just not being able to find any kind of positioning or defensive stand, and that's exactly what we talked about in the pregame. Oxygne is just continuing to pressure anybody caught out from eUnited. They're not letting anybody kind of set up, get that push stabilized. Pushy has seen where all 4 members are. There's no way he doesn't know where everybody from eUnited is. He's going to get called out from behind. 2 big, beautiful shots out of Xplosive. He's going to let him sit and crawl around and think about his mistakes here. But down to just 20 seconds, I don't know how much you want to invest utility-wise. They see that Powerz is all by himself on the opposite side of the map. They're going to try to pressure him out. 2 versus 1 over the top of that cover. Powerz, anybody that he can get here, any kills are going to be huge, but he's not going to get anybody. All 3 players from Oxygne will 3v1 him, call him out down to just 10 seconds on the hill. The next one spawns out. Pushyz is once again in a position to wreak havoc. If they don't find him, they are going to be upset. The order and the imbalance will be so great they won't be able to do much of anything. Kenny's going to throw that shock on his feet, try to buy him some time. Pushyz will call him out. Now Xplosive is up top. But look at this. The way that they're already set up on the hill, up by about 70 points, they can sit back, relax, and they're just going to continue to force eUnited to make more and more mistakes. Beautiful job from the Lancer Fire from outside, though. Pushed inside, and now they have Zoom called out. But Zoom, again, not going down without a fight. This is just unbelievable teamwork by Oxygne.
Yep, right place, right time. They know how important this spawn is, and that's why you see both of these teams putting so many resources towards this top half of the map. eUnited is going to be the last team standing. They're going to go ahead and hover over it, block the spawn, get them to spawn out, but now they need to attack the hill. They need to get Abolics out and stop the scoreline because they're 100+ points ahead on the side of Oxygne, and they're continuing to figure out a way to win these fights. Once again, 2 more players falling. Kenny in that same position we saw just a few moments ago, caught in no man's land. He's going to get taken out again. Oxygne have found the secret right now, taking out Hive, and now in map number 1, setting the tone and setting the pace against eUnited.
There's another down onto Praized. He's going to crawl around. Nobody's going to be able to pick him up just yet. The next hill is already going to be swarmed by at least 2 to 3 members of Oxygne. Xplosive on the backside, going for the marks, trying to get some damage on early. Flashes out by everybody. Utilities have been thrown. The push will come out from Oxygne here momentarily. Kenny, Xplosive. They're going to try to hold down the backside. There's going to be 3 members of Oxygne mounted up right in front of him. Kenny throws the flash. Not able to get anything just yet. There's a beautiful couple of shots out. They get one down, but not able to clean it up just yet. Kenny's going to hop back inside of the house, trying to keep himself from getting pinched out. Now another hop and a drop. Beautiful shot by Kenny to call him out. He's got one more to worry about on the backside. And Rocky pulls up, shoots over the cover, and gets that kill. Now Powerz, he's going to get full redded. He's going to be down. He's going to be dead. One more player, and that's Xplosive. And the help from Oxygne is there. They win yet another retake. They are well within their rights to just amass an amount of points that they will not be able to come back from in this, because any time at this point is going to tick them that much closer to that 300.
Yeah, with how aggressive Oxygne has been playing, you know they're going to be able to fight for that scrap time. They're going to be able to fight for every second, because now once they pass around the 225, 230, they're going to be able to fight for that scrap time and make every second dangerous for eUnited. It's going to be a threat. It's going to be like an itch in the back that you can't get rid of. Xplosive goes down, chain revives coming through, but nobody's able to kind of meet the charge. No one's really able to make the difference right now. It's just like shooting fish in a barrel. Finally, Powerz is able to pick up a huge down, clean up that elimination, but where's his team? Where's his help? Nobody right now from eUnited is being able to work together and use that championship experience. Oxygne is just suffocating eUnited, and right now for respawn, they're looking to do it again. Abolics gets caught out with a few Lancer shots, but Oxygne, Pushyz goes ahead and solidifies the elimination, gets the 1v2, and sets them up for what could be a final hill.
Down to 53 seconds away from finishing off this map number 1. Powerz over the top. Will get one shot, but he'll get Lancered out from behind. There's another nade out by Rocky. Will find the cleanup there, and he's going to get the kill onto Praized as he rolls back closer toward him, down to just 40 seconds. This is that position where eUnited now can't wait. They can't really go for retakes. It's a full 4-stack. They've got to get back into the area, got to get back into the fight to make sure that they can try to get these kills to get that hill, but they are being absolutely suffocated at this point. There is nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. eUnited, they cannot do anything right in this map, number one. I don't know if it's just, honestly, based on what I've seen, it looks like they're just relying so much on individual talent, whereas Oxygne is playing as a full 4-man. Lancer's out, trying to get into areas where they can snub, Lancer, whatever it might be, to add shots on for anybody. And they have found themselves in not just dominating fashion, but scintillating sensational fashion as they win map number 1 on Control over eUnited.
I'm over here just scratching my head. I knew Oxygne was getting better over time, but to take out eUnited on objective game mode, that's going to be big. They really set the tone, and that's one of the things I talked about, whether if it's just Escalation or all 3 of these game modes. To beat eUnited, you got to come off hot, you got to start off strong, you got to smack them in the mouth, and that's exactly what they did, and that's exactly what they need to continue to do here on Execution next.
Yeah, they've got to try to stay into this situation where they can keep that pressure up, because now that they're going to be going to Execution over to Tomb, it's a little bit more, I guess, in the favor. A lot of people will probably look of the side of eUnited because of how many championships those guys have won on a game type like Execution. And it's not as much about the pressure that Oxygne can really build. It's more about the initials. It's more about winning that first fight, which, you know, eUnited did do pretty succinctly. They were able to come back in, get that retake, and I would say that they won the initial. It was Oxygne's retakes. It was Oxygne's ability to get across the map, force out the members of eUnited in 2v1s, 3v1s, get those quick and easy kills, not allow anybody from eUnited to really take over the game and win that first map. I think that was just brilliantly done. I don't know if that's just a situation where Oxygne is playing on all cylinders and firing off all of them as well, or if eUnited, they're still just half asleep. They haven't warmed up yet. I'm sure Praized call time was about 17 minutes ago.
Yeah, to me, I feel like that's a good combination of both. For me, it's proof of how good Oxygne is actually getting. You can kind of see that the roster change is actually working out for them. Sometimes you kind of think roster changes do. This time, it's going to be one of those fantastic examples. But on the other side, you can kind of see, I think eUnited was kind of caught off guard. They were caught slipping, like you said, maybe not fully woken up. And there was never a moment that they kind of used to stop the bleeding, figure out a way to get all 4 members up. And you kind of even said it. They were relying on individual skill, push after push. They didn't look like a full unit. They did not look like the team that just won that last major. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, without a doubt. And you can kind of see it in the highlight reels. It was like every time somebody from eUnited might have had something to do or say about how a hill was going to go or how the hill was going to end up, all of a sudden it was 2 to 3 people just lancering out, getting shots on, making life absolutely miserable from anybody on the side of eUnited. And that's how we come away with that 1-0 scoreline in favor of Oxygne. We go over to Tomb, and you've probably gotten to see a lot more Execution than I have thus far in this split. How do you think Tomb plays as an Execution map? Do you think it's probably one of our best? I know it's a lot more the art style that people would prefer, as I've always gotten to hear on the Twitter line.
I think it's one of those that kind of like suits the meta. It suits what a lot of people like about Gears of War, the fast, aggressive, shotgun style play. But it also kind of has those elements that could slow down, even though it doesn't. If a team does play into different strategies or opposite strategies, you could have a little bit of a slower paced game, especially with how big it is. But I like how fast it is. But my question right now is going to be for both Oxygne and eUnited. Oxygne there was kind of able to suffocate, stagger the desk and control the power weapons multiple times. You saw those shot grenades go in their favor. You saw Pushyz with the frag grenades as well. But as this every round's being fresh, you're not able to carry on the momentum throughout the round. Every round's going to be something new. And we know eUnited is one of those teams that have plenty, and I mean plenty of tricks up their sleeve. So is there any one particular thing that you think from either Oxygne or eUnited is going to have to do well in this match to really take advantage of their opponent?
It's going to be up to the same style of getting Lancer fire for your teammates going into the initials, because you know what most likely is going to happen in round 1, maybe even 2, where they're going to put Powerz in a little bit of a 1v situation. They're going to say, Powerz, this is the power weapon that we want you to go for. We want you to win it for us. I won't be surprised to see Oxygne play defense on one side of the map. Just, hey, we're giving this power weapon up. Let's Lancer out. Let's prevent them from being able to roll across the mid-map line. and let's 2v1 Powerz up top or down low, wherever, whichever side he's on. Try to get a quick kill on him, make it a 4v3, and then use whatever power weapon they secure with the kill on him to get those other kills to secure that final hill if it comes down to that. That's what I kind of expect out of Oxygen. I think they're going to play this much more around one another. I mean, 2 tag teams of 2, maybe a 3-1, where the one guy's just, his whole job is just simply gather information and Lancer out for the other 3.
Yeah, no, I do think that they're doing a good job, and I agree with you. They're going to be able to kind of pinpoint their targets. That's one of the things I do like about Tomb as a whole. Even though I talk about how fast and how aggressive it can be, it's also very, very easily for those support players, those cross players, or those players who just simply just have that awareness through the roof that kind of influence the fight. You know, I always mention that word that Taylor kind of mentioned in the past, chunkable, but on this map is going to be a great example of it. You kind of influence with a few percentage, a few shots here and there. You're going to be able to have that player like Powerz or that player like Abolics to kind of go in and get that one-shot chunk, to get that one-shot down. On execution, that's really going to be the difference. And you've already kind of seen that happen on a map like Tomb, where you play down low towards that torque bow. It usually starts off as a 1v1, but those players that are playing the lower half of that middle, they either are playing to cross that guy on their left side or cross the guy, yes, in that 1v1 spot, start off that fight, get them weak, so that way their player can go in. They can get aggressive. And that's why I think eUnited here on execution are going to be a little bit more awake, a little bit more aware that they were on control, because execution, like I said, you're going to be able to throw out different strategies round after round after round. And if things don't work, you can really switch things up. You don't have to hope for a power weapon respawning. You don't have to hope for a big respawn to happen right now in execution. I think it just suits eUnited. But at the same time, man, anything can happen, as you already seen them lose 3-0 yesterday and lose map number 1 today.
4 maps in a row, eUnited have lost. This is a big map for them. I think losing 5 maps in a row, I don't want to say is a killer, but it's definitely a death knell for them going into the rest of the series. As you can see, the fly through of this Tomb map, where it looks like a swarm has started to put one of their hives across all these beautiful landmarks and are starting to wither away at the scenery here. We'll see how everybody rolls out of spawn thus far, and there it is. You can kind of see it down at the bottom. One of the players for Oxygen is just playing slowly. He's playing toward the middle of the map. He's there almost as a defensive player. Excuse me, that's the top side of the map, playing a defensive style spot up top to give himself a Lancer angle down onto members of eUnited. Kenny will be the first to fall. He will get Lancered out and cleaned up as well. Xplosive is going to get picked up by the nades. 2 kills from 2 different nades. That should easily wrap up round number 1.
Yeah, right now, eUnited, somebody needs to tell them, wake up, guys, get the eye boogers out of your eye. I don't know if you were late to breakfast, you didn't start the day off right, but you can kind of see it again. I don't know who it was. It might have been Xplosive, whoever's playing that number 2 spot for eUnited. It looks like they were a little bit late to their spot. Maybe they were going for a strategy that didn't work, but overall, if you're a little late on a map like Tomb on execution, you're going to allow those players to kind of slip through. You're not going to be able to get the full numbers, so you need to make sure that your routes, everything that you're doing is on point.
Now we come to round number 2. Lancers out once again, spread up, and once again, it looks like Oxygen will have a free run to the top side of the map if they so choose, but they would also have to give up those grenades. Not going to give them up just yet. You see the flashes out. Xplosive pushed up. Powerz will pick up the torque now. Powerz has a 1B here at the bottom. Xplosive tries to look across to help get some Lancer fire out. Powerz is going to back all the way up. Bolt reloaded. Goes for the active. He's going to be able to rev that thing up as fast as humanly possible. Gets one shot off across the map onto Zoom. And now we find ourselves in a 3v4 situation in favor of the eUnited.
Yep, and because of that pick and where that player was at specifically, that player up top, Pushyz, had to kind of back out. If you stay there too long, you risk getting caught out, risk getting overtaken by multiple members just like this. eUnited wasted no time on that rotation. And there goes another torque bow coming through from Powerz. 4v1 altercation. Abolics are good, but how good are you really? Not good enough to take a 4v1 in execution, that's for sure. As eUnited strike back, they tie it up 1 round apiece, and already you see the tug-of-war game. You see the chess match, the push and pull between these two teams.
I mean, my man was trying out there, right? He was going to do his damnedest to get any kills he could come away with. We come into round number 3. Ill will move up there toward those fragmentation grenades. Torque snipe still across the map. I really would like to see somebody maybe make a little bit of a play toward the middle of the map. Try to make something happen there around the tree. And you can see Abolics try to get into the position. He's been marked out. He's been tagged up just a little bit, but not much at all. Smokes are out. Pushyz is full red, but the shock is actually going to cut eUnited off from being able to push up into him. A double down on the map right now. Kenny's trying to make it out here across the middle of the map. Zoom will make it there for the revive as well. Xplosive going to rotate over. They're going to try to make a miracle happen here, but Xplosive goes down, pushes straight up into the next fight. Abolics over the cover. They get 3 pushed into the center of that couple of covers. Get all the shotgun damage they need. Get the kills. They secure round number 3.
That's why I called this a chess match, where they're using the shock grenades, where they're attacking each and every round. That was a little bit of an audible from Oxygne. You saw him shock out Praized. You saw him push up in towards that sniper. That's something that you didn't really see them do, and that's something that you really need to take note of, where that shock grenade player is playing. That's something that will be used on this map, especially if players are staying back, to target out a player to at least pick up a down, because you know you don't always have to go for the down. The down could lead to other eliminations, to other big plays. So starting off this one, talk about big plays. Rocky's trying to set the tone. Back aids. Powerz. That's going to be first blood. Xplosive spotted out. There goes 2. Zoom goes down. Kenny's trying to be the hero. He gets stunned out. He's unable to clean it up just yet. Goes down, getting the trade. So it's going to be up to Praized. 1v3 situation. Get some shot on the Pushyz, but reinforcements are already there. Abolics not going to let that one come through as Oxygne shut it down. 3 rounds already on the board and a 3-1 lead.
And I mean, they are dominating these rounds that they're winning. And it's coming off the back of finding an early initial down. And Abolics with 5 downs, to me, is the linchpin of this team. If you can find a way to keep Abolics from really being able to predict the pace of the round, really able to dictate it to you and able to get those early downs so that you can push up and get these kills, you are finding a lot better ways to win these rounds if you're United. Meanwhile, Oxygne, they're just going to continue this pressure. They know that as long as they mark out, as long as they help one another, and Abolics in this power position, I think they need to push up onto him. They need to get Xplosive on that mid cover, throw a flash, maybe try to go for the hop and drop to get him out of position. Kenny rotates over across the middle, gets the kill on Abolics, and they use a different method, but the same result is what I wanted out of them. Get Abolics off the map, make him make a move, make him get something to go. That's 3 dead, 4v1 now to finish off this round. Pushyz is just going to snub one out. That's going to be a 3v3 now on the map effectively, but I don't know how much more he can hope for in this situation. Porkbo out, 3-2. eUnited does answer back in this one.
Yeah, finally, United's going to be first to the punch in that one. You kind of saw it. Like you said, they targeted out Abolics. They knew he was kind of over-lancering too much in that situation without checking anybody with the shotgun. Kenny saw he went to Lancer Praized. That was the window of opportunity, and they took it. From there, they realized that's the side of the map they gravitated towards. Whether or not Praized survived, you can kind of see it. eUnited getting that torque bow and trying to pick off the rest of those members. But will Oxygne kind of slip up again? Will Abolics know he is now a target? He's on their radar of things they need to watch out for. As you see one shot grenade being used on one side of things. Rocky's seeming like he's taking a lot of damage. Shots being fired over the top. Powerz is going to win over that position. He's not going to get the torque bow clean because he still needs to be careful here. Abolics becoming a target again. Gets the down onto 1. Unable to clean it up, but he did enough damage. They're trying to do what they can. Kenny gets cleaned up. Flank coming through. Do they know Rocky's there? Torque bow coming through. Powerz gets the team kill. It's coming down to a 2v2 as this one does slow down just a little bit. One team does get the torque bow while Pushyz does have the frag grenade still.
Now we see right here, hunkered down is Zoom, as well as Pushyz, playing all the way across the map. Torque in hand to Powerz, trying to find somebody. Zoom has hit some pretty good shots here onto Xplosive, but they get him called out. They get him down, and it looks like they try to push across the middle of the map. Nade out by Pushyz. Doesn't find anybody. Powerz revving the torque. Will put it on the top side of that cover, trying to hit a little bit of splash damage, make his life a little bit harder. He's going to continue to hunker down here. Another one comes out, and a beautiful job. The snub shots out of Xplosive were actually enough to help him get that kill with the splash damage out of the torque.
I know back in the old Gears days, we called it like peppering them. You can call it spices, salt, and pepper because that's what makes the meal complete. And that's how you get the word chunkable to come into place. You get them 3%, 2%. Like I said, you walk up, splash damage. It makes it that much easier with an unactive or non-active torque bow, a non-active boom shot. It makes it that much easier. But like I said, Abolics became the target 2 times in a row for eUnited. And already you can see the switch of a strategy. Zoom playing a little back, kind of matching Kenny, but Praized wasting no time. He goes in underneath. He's getting that position, so he's going to have a little bit of an angle to cross, but how does Pushyz react?
See Powerz just trying to hold down that cubby for just a second. 4v4 still Praized in the backside of this cubby corner. He's going to try to stay inside of this tomb here and just stay alive as long as he can. Pushyz is trying to find him. I don't know if they know the call out is there. A little bit red. Pushyz is not going to get pushed out on by Praized just yet. Pulls back. Praized shots over the top with the Lancer now, trying to find anybody else that he might be able to pepper up like you were talking about. Not going to be able to find anybody just yet. settled down once again. 3-3 tied up. eUnited's looking to try to win this one. They want to come out with this round, get themselves the momentum. There's a trade out in the early goings. Kenny will go down, but they get the quick pick on him. Now they slide up. Beautiful job by eUnited to find a couple of kills and the momentum. They are now up in this one. 3 rounds in a row, 4-3.
No, he didn't really make that much of an impact, but this is what I always talk about, the living organism that is eUnited. When Praized knew that fight was going down, he ditched his fight. He knew he had the position. He ran directly towards the middle of the map to be able to revive, to be able to clean up any necessary eliminations. He beat his opponent to the punch, which was Pushyz. So that's going to be a great way to kind of go point up. 4-3. This is going to be 1st to 6. Any old Gears of War heads out there, it's no longer 1st to 4, no longer 1st to 5 like game battles. This is new and improved execution 2.0, as you see them targeting out some players in the middle. Abolics is finally going to get first blood onto Xplosive. Kenny already put full red, gets the trade at the very minimum. So Praized and Powerz have to be careful because both of them can easily be turned into a 1v2 scenario.
See there, Powerz getting cleaned up as well. So now Rocky will have the control over the Torpo. Praized all by himself. This will tie this thing right back up. 4-4 now. That's a best of 3. I mean, you got to win 2 more rounds in this one to try to solidify it out. All tied up at this point in this map number 2. And Oxygen looking to go up 2-0 right now. There's no way they want to, after such a scintillating, sensational performance on map 1, do they want to lose this one here and let eUnited tie it up? So this next round to me is a big round. It is a swing round if I've ever seen one.
Yep, I can agree with you 100%. When it comes down to the strategy, playing it rather similar. Abolics, I like what he's doing. He knows where he wants to go on the map. He knows the position that he wants. He just almost books it there every single time. Powerz, he gives up that positioning early. He goes down to Rocky. Torquebo gonna be given up. The rest of the members of eUnited know it's time to go. We can't stay here any longer. Big shots being fired up. No connection with the Torquebo. Praized able to get down onto Pushyz, but they're just funneled in there. A Torquebo, a shot grenade could really play the different. Xplosive shows too much. Gets shot in the back. The rest of the members, they have to swarm. They have to take the numbers advantage while they can, but Zoom gets another down for his team. The swing round you spoke about could be over, and it is as Kenny goes down. Oxygen go on map point, 1 step away from going up 2-0 over eUnited.
I mean, right now, Oxygen's teamwork is just better than eUnited's, and that's not something I think a lot of people after last split you'd be able to hear or talk about. They are just beating eUnited up every single round when it comes to being able to find an extra Lancer in the fight, find somebody that you can kind of hang your hat on and say, look, we've got enough damage done to him. Let's figure this out and get the next kill, get the next down. They are able to just absolutely dominate the teamwork situation, and they are not slowing up. They're not taking a foot off the accelerator just yet. Lancer's out in this round at number 10. Abolics trying to find anybody over that cubby corner. Not going to be able to get anyone just yet. There's the flash out by both teams. You see Powerz now trying to push up. He knows he's got a little bit of a damage lead here onto Rocky. Pulls him out. Now he's going to stand up, try to get the extra damage across the top middle of that map. Kenny comes in for the revive. Kenny comes in to try to help out his teammates. All the shots being answered by eUnited. 2 down, now 3. They need to win this one to send it to that vaunted final round to see who will come out on top. Rocky with a torque in hand. He's the last hope, and he starts things off right with a kill there on Kenny. Active bolt shoots out another one. Won't be able to find the kill on Praized, but does find the splash damage.
That's all he's trying to do right now. Catch one player slipping with a cross, or maybe try to get some splash damage onto Powerz. Powerz is pushing up. He wants to solidify this elimination. Big shots from Xplosive. El Capitan with the cross, solidifying that elimination. We're tied up at 5 rounds apiece. This is round number 11, and this is going to be a big round for eUnited. Yesterday, we saw them fall 2-0 right before the big drastic 3-0 defeat from Rebel, and this is that opportunity for Oxygen to take a massive lead in the map series over eUnited.
Here we come to that round number 11. You said it was 5-5 at this point, and that is indeed what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Whoever wins this one will come away with map number 2, excuse me, under their belts.
Look at Abolics.
See if they
switch
can
up
get
a
something
strat.
happen. Little switch strat here, little trick strat here. Giving up the middle of the map over toward the side of Oxygen. You see it all the way played back is Praized. The nades are picked up by Pushyz. Pushyz full red. Has to sit down before he goes down and dead. Powerz trying to survive here. Needed one more shot to connect to get that down. One player, Praized, moves across the middle of the map, sneaks up onto him, picks up the scope now. 3v4 in advantage of eUnited. They've got the scope in hand. Rocky here trying to bounce around, trying to find a way to pick up that torque.
Not
going to be able to do it.
Gonna be up to Pushyz here, really. Rocky goes down, instant revive coming through. Sniper's not watching him for headshot. Praized knows there's a player floating around. He actually kills his teammate, goes down. Pushyz able to get one on to Praized. I said he was the player that really had to make a difference. He took a little bit too long, letting his teammates get taken advantage of, and I think that is going to be the final nail in the coffin. He gets taken out. Map number 2 comes to an end. 6-5. eUnited tied up.
Beautiful job by eUnited. We are 1-1 in the series between eUnited and Oxygen. Don't go anywhere. The conclusion of the series will be after this quick commercial break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this matchup between Oxygen and eUnited. It is all tied up 1-1 here after a beautiful round 11 win by eUnited on Tomb. And PR, I know you said you were being a little nitpicky, but as one of the best analysts to ever do it, as one of the best color guys to ever talk about gears, talk to the people about one of the things you saw in that matchup that you thought might have gone the way of Oxygen and could have very well tipped the favor in their scales.
What was it, Rocky? I think it was this situation right here. That one round that you kind of saw where Rocky get that kill, I felt like he kind of trapped himself back there. He's a phenomenal player. They've shown what they could do in map number 1. I just kind of want to see a little bit more oomph, but you also got to take into account a beam of a Lancer over his head come from Xplosive. I know I have a different view than a lot of these players do. I get to see the X-ray cam. I get to think about it after it's over. I don't have to rush into another round, so I know he's trying his hardest. But map number 3, 1-1, Colin. Harbor Escalation. You almost got to think that favors eUnited overall. They just did win that major, but after losing yesterday, after seeing a slow start today, what do you think we're going to see here on Harbor?
Well, I think this is one of those things where Harbor's also the map that eUnited struggled on. When we saw them have to play it, Harbor very much became the bane of their existence. When they were able to get those aggressive pushes across the map, it put them in more trouble situations than it helping ones. So therefore, I'm assuming that this might be a map that could give them a little bit of controversy here if they cannot continue to keep their heads well in place on their shoulders and get too over aggressive early for Oxygen. Meanwhile, Oxygen has done fantastic on this map. This is actually the map that I believe that this roster, this same roster with guys like Rocky and Pushyz and Zoom on it, were able to win coming out of challengers a few splits ago.
With that type of history, it's got to help you in the end. But as I say that, I forget Powerz, kind of one of the young big slayers here in Gears Esports, one of the first to 1,000 kills. You can see exactly why. Once he gets going, he just doesn't slow down. A big hot start like that, you see Kenny's spotting those two players come about to respawn, and that's why we talk about eUnited, understanding these scenarios, these situations, when to go in for the triple cap, when to back off, when to have an aggressive setup. That's exactly why Kenny, knowing those players are spawning, if he goes for the decap, he's certainly going to be dead. He looks like he's going to go down in the end, but Xplosive trying to save his life. Fight's going to continue. Shots being fired off, and Kenny takes out Pushyz. He gets the help needed from Praized to keep this one going. Death's beginning to be staggered for Oxygen. This is not looking like the start you need.
Not at all. Oxygen is having happen to them what happened in map number 1 to eUnited, where the deaths are staggered and you're not able to get anything going really in your favor. You're not getting those same kind of favorable pushes, able to really control the tempo and the pacing. eUnited with 2 hills to 1 will be up over the 150-point marker here much quicker than the side of Oxygen. Kenny just controlling the stern for a hot minute with a snub and the extra Lancer fire out. Pushyz will finally kill him. Beautiful job by Rocky to help out Pushyz get that first down. They're winning some of these fights, but now everybody's kind of caught into no man's land. Powerz is going for the triple cap domination. Pushyz will have to get in the home hill of eUnited just to slow it down, just to stop it. And Oxygen gets the retouch at their home, but Powerz is still alive over there. Powerz is still able to continue to push out, but he finally goes down, finally gets cleaned up. But 2-1 hills, still in favor of eUnited. They are still well within their rights to come away with this round number 1, barring any kind of monumental collapse.
Yeah, eUnited here have to have all the options in the world. Oxygen need to play it perfect. You see them stacking 3 players down low. That could be the opportunity that they need, but they also know eUnited went off of 1 hill, uncontested. So it doesn't stop here for Oxygen, even if they do win it, but it does look like they're just going through the works. They're going through the blender, getting crossed out, getting crossed around, even forced back. Powerz is going to step up, getting stunned at the right time, but I don't think they're going to pick up that elimination. Zoom goes down at the wrong time, cleaned up, revived even by Rocky, but nobody's even even close enough to get this touch. But as I say that, Abolics and Pushyz figure out a way to sneak a man through, but so does eUnited. And he's going to prolong this one towards the backside. And if he gets this capture, it's going to be so hard. That 1v1 is so crucial between him and Abolics. And Abolics is going to take him out. This is the opportunity for Oxygne to steal this round away. Powerz dies as well. Xplosive, the last person there. He takes out Zoom. This is the hope that eUnited need to hold on. But instead of going forward, they capture the hill on the side of Oxygne. Abolics and Pushyz are not going to be able to get there in time. So eUnited will escape by the hairs on their chinny chin chin with round number 1.
And man, it don't matter how close it might have been. They come away with round number 1. Oxygne has got to feel good, though, about the fight in the second half out of them. They've got to be feeling like they really could come back in these later rounds. If it comes down to a round 9 situation where they have to win it, they could come back, make some kind of miracle play happen. But thus far, I think the tail of the tape kind of speaks for itself. First 2 maps, Oxygne has just been so much better than eUnited in the team fire situation and the team fire department. Map number 3, the initial is won based on the back of Powerz going absolutely nutty, buddy, and allowing himself to get a few of those kills. And that's what we talked about on Control. eUnited was trying to win it with just pure aggression and their individual playmaking ability. Oxygne didn't give into it. And now here on map 3, they succumb to that individual playmaking ability by the side of eUnited. They lose round number 1.
Yep. That's exactly, you can kind of see the difference. I always talk about Escalation is one of those modes where it takes a little bit of extra strategy and thinking if you can outlast the slaying, if you can kind of match it with another team. But obviously, if you get overwhelmed by the slaying, strategy isn't necessarily the root cause by that. It is going to make sure that you have to hit the shots, just like you see Powerz doing back-to-back rounds on the initial. Powerz is going to get a double kill. He did get the third in this situation. It's like deja vu. He gets the third down as well. eUnited off to another hot start. He gets basically all 4 Powerz with his head on a swivel with the help necessary. Basically gets the ace.
Powerz with a beautiful initial here. They were going for the triple cap domination. Kenny has to back out as the flashes come through, but Powerz still being a terror on the backside, continuing to get kills to help secure that hill. 2-0, quick up over Oxygne. They're definitely awake right now. The only thing that I would be concerned with is if we go back to a respawn style game mode like Control and the pressure is just still too much for them to overcome. I'd like to see this kind of be kept up by eUnited because the initials of Escalation definitely open the door for individual playmaking to come through in the day.
Yep, and that's exactly kind of like you get that balance, being able to make those individual decisions within each and every move that you make, whether you rotate off of a defensive hill to try to get in a team fight or you try to make that sneaky play across the map. You need to make sure you're on point with your decision, that you don't hesitate, because we know that timing is of the essence. But already you see eUnited putting those grenades down in the center line. They want to go ahead and fight Oxygne and keep this one going.
Powerz over the top here at the winch. A lot of people in front of him, 2 to be exact, and now he's going to get damaged up a little bit, continuing to rotate all the way out. Kenny's on the opposite side of the firing line, double down out. Abolics might have to get rotated on to be revived out. Powerz continuing to answer back. Beautiful job here at the winch fight by eUnited to win those initial kills, to try to get this initial hill. Now Rocky finds himself off respawn, having to deal with 2 players from eUnited. He's full red. The flash comes out. It doesn't stun the player that moved up into the hill. Powerz moves up, gets that kill. Now 2v1 at the B hill. 1v2 here at the home hill. Flash out actually bounces off of him. Beautiful job using the meat shield as almost like a backboard to stop that first player from getting the stun off. The double melee comes out for the stun. They finish off round number 3. They're looking to make this 2-1 in quick fashion.
And that's what I like about this eUnited squad. Even on a map like Escalation, Harbor, to where they're leading. They're up 2-0. The initials back-to-back domination by Powerz at round number 3. They're not scared to switch up the fight. They put grenades center line, and they force Oxygne to think. They force Oxygne to be decisive of which initial strategy they want to do. They want to favor the grenades. Do they want to favor the top side? And exactly, United on the same page. It doesn't matter what decision is made. They're going to be ready, but already Oxygne, they're ready to switch it up. Retros versus retros. Grenades in the middle. Oxygne, they want to put that torque bow towards the top side. And once again, that's going to put that fight on over towards the winch and stern. And you could possibly see on this initial 4 players from each team fight it out.
Now we see with the torque bow up top, a lot of more manpower has been put toward the top side of the map. Here comes a 2v2 in the middle winch. One player playing back for each team, making sure nobody extra goes up there, making sure there's no big flank coming out. Oxygen will take over the winch. They get the first down out. Pushyz will finish off Kenny as well. 2 more players to deal with. Oxygen has a 3v2 up here on the top side of the map. Powerz goes down. Xplosive moves in for the revive. But the beautiful shots from Oxygen continuing to get down, continuing to make life very hard. But somehow, someway, Powerz, El Capitan, come out on top. And it's due to some of the extra damage put in by the retro of Xplosive.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest difference maker is how close they were. They were able to chain revive each other up. And as soon as that player, I think it was Pushyz, pressed forward, tried to solidify that elimination, they turned and burned, taking him out. Xplosive does go down. Kenny goes down as well. They're going to stagger that explosive death, but not too different. Only about 2 seconds differential. They already have 2 hills under their belt. They're going to continue to try to at least try to find these eliminations. Rocky gets those grenades again. Praized is doing a good job of holding on defensively, keeping this round going, but Rocky sneaks past. He's going to get the decap, but it's not going to be over yet. Abolics even one's out, but I might have spoke too soon. Kenny goes down. Xplosive is able to trade off one. He's the last hope for eUnited on this fight. He goes down as well. Oxygen are figuring out a way to fight back after 3 straight round losses to get themselves on the board before the half.
Reasons you never let an overweight country caster get close to your cables.
Yeah, I thought I had spilled some juice, Colin. I was like, oh no, not again. And I say again because there was that one time last summer, bro. The computer lab was never the same.
I'm telling you right now, look, I had to go for one more ho-ho over there, which is right off screen. I said, I love a Hostess cake, baby. I love a Hostess cake. I tripped, fell, landed straight on my face, but that cake was delicious. I laid there on the floor and cried.
That was my next question. Was it at least good? Was that at least worth it?
It was delicious.
Because then that's fine. Guess what? Can you grab me one? Don't hit the wire this time, but can you grab me? Toss it over here.
When we have a break, don't make me rush. If I rush, I'll do the same thing. Ladies and gentlemen, eUnited and Oxygen finished up that Harbor matchup. It ended up going 5-1 over eUnited, so they are up 2-1 in the series right now. They won that Harbor 5-1 after winning a 6-5 tomb. Oxygen, though, dominant there on the control. Let's see if they can win the respawn yet again with Reactor control coming up. Do you see any big differences coming?
I think right now the biggest difference is that Escalation Harbor. I know it's not exactly the same as Control, but you start getting in that objective mindset, and it's a very aggressive meta that is played in Escalation, so that could carry over in Reactor. My question is going to be how practiced on either one of these teams going to be on Reactor? Do they have the strategies? Do they have the spawns down? Are they going to be able to kind of clean it up on the side of Oxygen? Are you going to be able to put that same exact pressure onto eUnited that you did in map number 1? And eUnited, you did win the maps number, I think 2 and 3 to kind of tie the series up and take a 1-0 lead. I would say 1-0, but it's 2-1 lead. Do you have what it takes to come back into these respawns after the domination and really begin to think the full big picture that Control has? Being able to be the first to certain fights, rotate around, block the spawns, because we saw it. And you even spoke about it yourself, being one of eUnited's biggest super fans. They just look like 4 individuals staggering the desk, running around without a clue.
Oh, yeah. Look, I think one of the things I pride myself on is no matter how much I love you as a player, if you're messing up, I'm more than happy to call you out on the things that I think you're messing up on. I think United need to do a much better job here of making sure they don't rely on strictly their individual talent. Early on, Oxygen go for the hill, and already eUnited, they find themselves in loss of that first hill, and they're continuing to lose extra players around the map. This is just not enough. This is another initial that's almost gone to the wayside, and another good point differential going over to the favor of Oxygen.
Alrighty, like you said, a not good start for eUnited, but I say that even though the early point lead, you got to think eUnited kind of favoring the power weapons, favoring that retake potential, but you can already see only 30 seconds left on the hill. You have to be very careful how much of your resources you kind of use for this. What a big shot coming out from Praized. Talk about being careful. Maybe I should have been talking to Rocky with only 20 seconds left on this hill. 2 great torque bows being used. You almost got to think you saved the third one, because yeah, you're doing a good job of winning this, getting these kills out, but those players are just going to spawn across the map and be the first to rotate to what is going to be the new hill.
You see Praized trying to get across the map now after getting the last couple of seconds of that hill. The other 2 members of eUnited in front of him. This is going to be a weird setup. Powerz is just watching everybody go across the front middle of the map. He's gathering as much intel as possible. Rocky will set up in the bottom side of this ledge. This is a good little angle for him. He's going to be able to mark out, put pressure across as anybody tries to lance her up. Last player of Oxygen is almost playing like an anchor role. He's trying to block the close spawn. That's what his position is here. He has to win a 1v against Praized, and he has to be able to get the positioning for the close spawn for his squad. Anybody that dies right now is going to be spawned completely out. Wait till you see this on the mini-map, folks. When those two players come back, they're all the way across the map. It's going to be a marathon sprint to get back over to this hill, because right now Oxygen are winning these initials, or winning these fights. Powerz one shot over the top, now has to double bounce. A little misroll comes out, but he turns and burns, gets the second, and now they have the pinch here on to Zoom.
And because that spawn you spoke of before, I was thinking Zoom, he got the better of the spawns, but he didn't rotate in time. Xplosive, he's taking a little nap right now, kind of recharging after that initial. Rocky takes him out. Abolics gets the torque bow as well, so they get their opportunity here at what could be a full set of points on this next hill as well. Xplosive loses another altercation down low at the bottom half of the map. Frags being picked up as well. Torque bow being fired off, so even though they're going to come close in terms of the scoring line, right now Oxygen have a chance with these two torque bows here to set up for the next hill once more.
See here where Powerz is going to lance her down across. Zoom is going to be full red. Kenny doesn't go down in that cubby, and that's big for eUnited. They were trying to pick up at least one kill here, and they don't give it up, and I think that really gives them a chance to really keep the momentum going after a good little second hill retake and spawn out by the side of eUnited. They catch up. A good amount of points, by the way. 80 to 56, a little over 80, and they're continuing to garner up points. Here comes the flash. Torque bow from Abolics will shut down this push. It's not going to be 3 versus 2. Any kills out of eUnited are big kills, but Abolics making the life of Xplosive a living hell. Kenny all by himself now trying to make a miracle happen. He might get some help through the window, but he's going to continue to get Lancer. Tries to up A into Pushyz, but goes down finally. Beautiful Lancer by Pushyz to shut down Kenny.
Yeah, both of these teams, you're going to see the constant attacking onto this hill. But right now, eUnited, they're going to be a little bit behind with that respawn of Kenny dying a little bit too late. Death getting staggered a little bit. Points being gained by Oxygen just for now, but Xplosive gets taken out. So does Kenny. 2 players fall from eUnited, getting caught off guard. Powerz once again left up to be the hero. He doesn't get a kill. Praized only gets a down. So a huge defensive stop for Oxygen on another hill. Control is looking like their game type, and it's looking like eUnited need to go back to school.
And I think Oxygen kind of looks at that as, if we can sneak an execution but win both controls, it makes life too hard for our opponents to really come back. I love seeing teams kind of formulate these strategies going into these matchups week to week. They know they have a best of 5. They've got a lot of maps that they can kind of choose from, pinpoint what they want to do, and we see what Oxygen's game plan was going in against eUnited this week.
Kenny trying to be the distraction, pushing up, so it's supposed to get out with the torque bow, but pushes up just a little bit too far. So does Powerz. He gets taken out. Xplosive trying to keep this relatively close in terms of manpower on the map, trying to get some splash damage, forcing Pushyz off the hill just for now, getting to waste a little bit of utility. You kind of see everybody on the map dodging frags, 2 of them to be used right now. Rocky escaping death, and he doesn't even know it. Xplosive looking like Robin Hood, one bow after the next, not connecting with any after that one first initial bow. Kenny going down as well. This is just looking like Oxygen yet again leading the charge, but finally this is a moment for eUnited to breathe. They get the death. They figured out a way to stagger them and keep their man advantage as well, as Powerz picks up a huge double kill. But how much can they turn this into actual point gain here?
I mean, they need to turn it into as much as humanly possible. With 40 seconds left, you can get yourself into the 100-point club, try to get closer and closer to that 150 that Oxygen has already amassed. And if I'm Oxygen, you're trying to sneak somebody into that hill. You're just trying to get somebody in there to decap it just like that, to make sure that they don't catch up with so much on this one. And that is a beautiful job done by Oxygen to keep this going in their favor. They even get the retake as you see eUnited try to scatter out toward the next hill.
It's going to be a much-needed scatter, but Powerz, he gets picked off. That's not the time you do want to get taken down, because you add that plus the 14 seconds left on the clock, the 12-second or 7-second timer. This is going to be an opportunity for Abolics and the rest of Oxygne once again to swarm this hill before it appears. But on the other side of the map, Pushyz does go down to Kenny. So talking about an opportunity to swarm the actual hill. This is going to be eUnited's opportunity for retake. Big shots fired off by El Capitan, unable to collect the elimination. Rocky gets one as well before getting taken down. Praized falls, so 3 players of eUnited dead again. Before these players spawn up, they're going to rack up at least 20, maybe even 30 seconds, possibly more if they find this elimination on Kenny and continue to stagger the deaths of eUnited.
And here goes Zoom on that back ledge with Abolics, just snubs out, putting in all the damage. Xplosive down for a second time. He's going to get picked off once again. Praized tries to press up, goes for an up A. He's going to get shut down right here. And the defensive wall, I mean, is just damn near brick by brick getting laid in front of them. There's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can even fathom to be able to access here in this hill. The 200 points have been reached, now down to less than 100 points for them to go to be able to get this victory. And this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is what we talk about in control, where you're able to defensively set up, be able to force your team to spawn out and basically play into the hands of what you want. And it has been picture perfect by Oxygne in both controls.
Yeah, I know what Powerz is doing right there. He knows he can't get the kill, but you almost got to figure out a way to get eliminated quickly. The next hill is going to start appearing itself. Kenny's trying to do what he can with that shock grenade, but can't use it too early. See next appearing itself, Abolics. They're going to stagger that death, which is good. But you already see the remaining members that are kind of alive trying to rotate over. They're going to pick up the rest of that time towards the back end to get themselves as close as possible to 300 as they can possibly be. You see the respawn as well. And it's going to be Oxygne. They're going to be able to get control of that top center if they want it. Gather the information necessary before they make a push, but they're not going to even waste any time at all. They want to have as many push attempts as possible on this hill.
Chances are that they get a little bit of splash damage, a little bit of shock damage here, trying to open this one up, trying to get into the hill. Now you see Xplosive push up over the top, trying to get into an area where he might be able to get some of these shots to go. Beautiful job getting the double shot down here. They need to continue to finish him off. Hits him with a full spread, but Abolics is going to get revived once again. Oxygne's teamwork is just too strong on control for them right now. I mean, this is almost, I don't want to say call it, because there's always a chance with a 300 to 299 scoreline we saw in the first week. This is just, I mean, this just doesn't, you don't see it coming. You can't feel it in this one even.
Yeah, they're just being suffocated right now by this Oxygne team, just kind of pulling every last breath out of this eUnited squad on these control maps. But they have these shines, then moments of brilliance there as Powerz and Kenny pick up a pair of kills on this dead hill time, though. 47 seconds is all Oxygne need in order to take this map. Early rotation coming through. eUnited is trying to beat them to the punch, get on that side of the map, and continue to stagger out these deaths. But Rocky's going to get the frag grenades. Oxygne, throughout 3 maps so far, have been doing a ton of damage with those frags, and they're looking to do it yet again.
Now the shock out from Kenny, trying to slow him down. Rocky drops the frag in front of him, doesn't find anybody there. Now he's worried about the extra rotation. He's letting them gather up. I think the second frag might find a little bit of damage on that player down at the bottom. It ends up killing Powerz. That is a big kill. That will help settle down this retake. And once again, eUnited, they cannot get anything going. And this will continue to be a one-way train in Oxygne's favor. They are looking to tie this up 2-2 and take us to a map number 5, which will be execution, ladies and gentlemen, to settle it all out.
Execution checkout, not just any execution, but probably one of our fastest executions. That's barring any miracles here coming out from eUnited, though. Enough time left on this hill for Oxygne to take this map. Force a game number 5. Praized getting 1. Couple downs coming through for the rest of the members of eUnited. They're going to solidify this hill, get the rest of the time here. Or I would say they're going to be looking to get the rest of the time, but they can't spread out too far. 9 seconds is all Oxygne need, and they can easily take it, especially if they get this elimination. Praized gets taken out first. Powerz falls. Like I said, 9 seconds with double that left on this hill. Xplosive. El Capitan is going to have to win this fight, and he does not. Oxygne, they wanted to win it off of this hill. They don't want to make this round go any longer. 5 seconds left. It's all up to Kenny. He gets it down, but he is denied. Oxygne will reach 300, tie this game up, and force a game number 5.
beautiful job by Oxygen. I mean, I am in awe, and I'm applauding them. I'm not standing up, giving them the standing ovation yet. Rocky hitting them with a little disco dance, and he should be feeling good about his team and their chances in this matchup tonight to not only knock off eUnited, but continue to kind of roll in their pro league campaign, so to speak. There it is. You see him winning the map. That's 2-2 now. Both controls going over to Oxygen. And, you know, I might not be the smartest guy on the planet. I might not be the brightest crown in the box, but I did say that control is what Oxygen needs to win against eUnited if they even want to have a chance in a map number 5.
Yep. I mean, I'm going to call you Nostradamus. You got all the secrets. If you were bald, I'd be running with that shiny head to try to figure out what the lottery numbers are, man. And as you see these replays coming through, you see exactly why Oxygen was kind of able to take over, even though we started off with a replay of Praized and even another one coming through of Powerz. But just time and time again, they were the first ones to this hill. They were attacking nonstop to the defenses of eUnited when they weren't in control. And on the flip side of things, the eUnited, they were unable to really work together. You didn't really see too many moments where all 4 of them, or heck, even 3 of them, were working together as a full cohesive unit, getting each other's backs. They were just picked apart by this Oxygen squad.
You see, I mean, just as these highlights continue to rack through, you'll see it more and more often just how overwhelming Oxygen was in this map. I mean, I don't want to be at a loss for words because it's hard. I'm hard pressed to ever be at a loss for words. But I really am. I just don't expect this out of a team like eUnited. Yes, as individually talented as you are, I still would expect with some of the people you got on that sideline to be able to figure out, hey, guys, we might want to shoot for each other every now and again. We might want to make life a little bit easier, try to win these fights with a little bit of teamwork, because right now they are getting just shredded in control. That is a big worrying factor going forward for me. That tells me that's what they need to kind of focus in on. They need to find what it is about control that's not going their favor, is not allowing them to really get it under their belt, get to understand the mode to the best possible ability of their assets. And that's really all I can say about it. Right now, Oxygen, focus in on a checkout, win one more map, win a 3-2 here, opening up our pro league on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, and to me, when it comes to a map like Control, like I've said, I think it favors very, very heavily that aggressive team. And eUnited is kind of that perfect mixture, sugar, spice, everything nice, that pure balanced gameplay, offense, defense. And they need to be able to kind of figure out to where that thing, saying I've always said, Gears of War 5, even a little bit in Gears of War 4, where the right play isn't necessarily always the smartest play. Sometimes you just got to kind of pull up your pants, go up in there and get a couple of big kills for your team in any way possible. You don't have to overthink it. And I think in Control, eUnited might be trying to overthink certain scenarios, and it gets them a little desperate. They get down a little early. They start going in one by one. It's kind of like what we saw when that team was down to, I think, 5v5, where we talk about that cushion isn't necessarily there. You saw them slow down a bit from their dominance. I think right now with Control being that game mode, how fast it is, I think they're just slowed down a little bit, but I don't think it's going to take them too much time before they start to pick it up. But I just hope they pick it up sooner rather than later, so they can continue to control their own destiny for the Pro League.
Something else that I want to take note of that I think is pretty interesting, if you go back and watch, especially last night and tonight, something that sticks out to me very much so. I mean, it is a pink zebra right now to me. It's easy to spot. Xplosive does not look near as aggressive as he did when we played that major. Even on the Escalation on Harbor, it wasn't like Xplosive was necessarily putting himself in the front of a lot of fights, in the forefront, kind of getting loose, hanging 10 with his teammates. He was still supporting with the retro in a lot of situations. Yeah. He was playing up behind people. He was making call-outs. He was kind of being that field general. Do you see that as being something that they're still getting used to with Control being added to the rotation, and that over time we'll see Xplosive slowly start to get more aggressive, where he knows his guys know everything about the map, they know every rotation, they know where they're supposed to be, how to cut off spawns, and now I don't have to kind of hold their hand?
Yeah, I do believe that, yeah, kind of what you're saying, where it is easy to kind of get lost in the sauce very early on in these game types. Control and execution, they're new. You're really trying to think outside of the box. And that's where I say you need to find that perfect balance of the game modes, figuring out how to have that switch that you can flip, where I need to play aggressive in Control, but I need to be able to kind of slow it down in execution. I think kind of Gilbert being the leader of such a dominant squad for so long is kind of going through that. Like I always said, he wouldn't wouldn't do anything, or he wouldn't tell his troops to do something that he wouldn't do himself. So I think he's just kind of going to finding that balance, finding it for himself. And I think because of that, Oxygen is really able to kind of take over. They have their play style and it's aggression the entire time.
And it's been working thus far. Let's see if it continues to pay for him here on checkout. They are already here in the back lane, over by where that power weapon is, over where we see a lot of the action at that hop up and that cubby. Back ace out. Abolics trying to find something. He goes down, though. Kenny trying to push up now. Tries to stop the revive. Gets the first chunk. They get the second kill. Now it's up to Pushyz here. Pushyz and Zoom trying to finish off these last 3 members from eUnited. The revive comes through. Now 2v3 situation. I love the fact that they're just getting checked up from the middle of the map. Now it's a 3v1. It is all up to Zoom. He's trying to get this shot over the cubby, continuing to get peppered up. Gets taken downtown. Julie Brown, eUnited. They find round number 1.
I don't know the history of Zoom. I don't know how long he's been playing Gears of War, let alone Execution on checkout, but he needs to kind of start to push that fight. Even though he's going against one of the best defensive players in Gears history in Praized, you need to figure out a way to push that fight if your team is losing that checkout side of the map. Either that or figure out a way to kind of fall back. But that round, him and Praized were kind of having one of the longest staring contests I've seen in a long time while his team was losing. And that's one thing of eUnited, they just do almost perfectly well no matter what the game mode is knowing their limits, knowing the win condition, how to play. As Abolics does go down first, Kenny with the old-fashioned hop-up. Rocky's gonna fall. Pushyz is in one of the worst positions I can see right now. Getting crossed, getting shotgun, 3 players dead. Zoom, like I said, you got to figure out a way to push that fight early on, especially if your team is not winning that checkout. In 29 seconds, I called it one of the fastest maps that we have here on Execution.
And now this is what's leading to eUnited. They have picked up the aggression quite succinctly. They are well within their rights to continue to pressure out, continue to push up. They haven't seen anything, I don't think, either, that has really made them have cause for pause in this. This is one of those situations where you're playing from behind now for Oxygen, and that's a very scary sight and thought for anybody going up against eUnited.
Definitely going to be Oxygen. Need to figure out a way here, and that's why I say Execution, there's so much strategy involved. It's a chess match. Strats 3 rounds in a row can look exactly the same, but if the team is making those micro adjustments, a little adjustments here and there, the strat is going to play out and look almost completely different when it's all said and done. As you see the utility being used from almost everybody but Praized here in the game. Zoom once again starting to play aggressive, trying to get flashed here by Praized. Zoom, I like the angle he has. He's gonna be able to cross those players in towards the back line, so eUnited is gonna feel the pressure as Pushyz gets a little over aggressive, gets taken out, and you can kind of see it. Xplosive trying to go around. Trades coming through between Rocky and Xplosive. Powerz, oh my god, with that headshot, able to take out a ball. Can he do it again? Zoom knows he's looking. Praized needs to figure out a way. Praized is going to push forward, get him to pop up, and that's when Powerz is going to shoot. That or Kenny's going to rotate him over.
Oh, there's a body shot. That's all you need. Look, as hype as headshots are, as great as they look on stream, I will always and forever stand by the idea and the concept that a body shot will do you just as good in any situation. I love watching people
go pop.
You know, it's a lovely sound, but sometimes headshots don't win you rounds, because headshots, all they do is they take one player out. Next thing you know, you get flanked, you're down, you're out, you lose the snipe to your opponent. Sometimes you just got to know what your limitations are, my man. You got to understand the situation you're in.
You got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. Is that what you're telling them? Is that what you're telling me?
Can you tell me who sang that?
I can't. Johnny Cash? I'm probably wrong.
I'm leaving. I'm walking away. All
right. Let's get back into this. Oh, he does it again, though. He does it again. Oh, my God. He just picks up sniper and threads the needle.
I mean, isn't that what he's supposed to do? Isn't that the kind of situation that you tried to put yourself in?
Oh, no.
Yeah, that ain't right. That ain't right. Aren't we supposed to talk about how people have families and stuff? Isn't that how we're supposed to talk about now?
Well, it's his family now. He just snatched the whole family. It's his family now. Call him Daddy Powerz.
Oh, baby. Say that again into the mic with a little bit of a deeper baritone, my man. Powerz is taking over here in map number 5.
Maybe if he can get some more headshot, maybe if he can keep it on a roll, we'll say it again, as he's going to be the first to this fight. And that's what checkout, it kind of stemmed from Gears of War 3, using your stuns, your flashes, your smokes in towards the middle to catch somebody off guard. But Kenny, he's going to be the one caught off guard, thrown through the middle. Oxygen's going to get him out. Praized, though, coming back from that 1v1 fight, making a difference. Zoom does the same thing. There's going to be a big double kill down to 1v1. El Capitan versus the rookie Zoom himself. This is going to be a big confidence booster. Not only do you need this round to get on the board for Oxygen, but for a rookie to take out one of the most winning players in the game is going to be big.
You see now, just peppering up, trying to get those initial damage shots out with the snub. I like the positioning he has. Explosive now challenging it over the back A. Might come out. Explosive's going to... Oh, he fakies the up A. Hits enough of that... Oh.
Batista bombing. Explosive showing no respect. It's a rookie. This is my house, as he just puts him through the aisle. Clean up on aisle 3, aisle 4, and aisle 5. What eUnited is doing to Oxygen.
I cannot believe my man's getting to clean up on aisle 5. Look, that's already got cleaning supplies on it. You just got to go there at this point. Clean up on it, man. Round number 6 here. eUnited looking to shut this down in a 6-0 fashion, win this 3-2 with a beautiful win here on checkout execution. Incendiary's picked up by Powerz, turns and tries to burn. Won't be able to find anything there on the initial. Good shots out by Pushyz. Getting the first kill, 4 versus 3. Pushyz goes down. Powerz is not able to bait out the Incendiary on the revive. Kenny trying to get shots over the top. Beautiful snub out, getting a lot of damage onto him. Kenny will go down. It's all up to Praized. Chasing Zoom, trying to make this happen. He gets this kill right here. It's 2v1, and Praized has to pick the next fight. He has to know his situation. He's going to get Lancered out. Not sure exactly what he can do. Look, they're going to pressure Praized. They're going to get this kill. It's 5-1. There's almost a part of me that wishes the Oxygen would just back up, though, and play for that final hill just to add insult to injury. Like, Praized, are you going to man up? You going to come after this fight?
Yeah, but I wouldn't give Praized any inches. That man will easily make them regret it if they kind of give him room to move, give him room to maneuver around the map. That's going to be big for a lot of these players when you're looking to clutch. We've seen very few so far at execution, but that's exactly what these players do. Separate them, find out a 1v1, which is so hard, especially with the hill revealing itself, and all you need to do is capture it. But on map and series point for eUnited here in this next round, going to be up for grabs. You already saw Powerz go in. He gets the instance and gets the kill. First blood onto Abolics.
Now they're going to continue to try to pressure out. They know what the situation is. They know the positioning they have. They know that it's all down to Rocky and Zoom. Now all down to Zoom. Poor Zoom all by his lonesome. Has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and no friends to call. That's all she wrote. 6-1. eUnited win map number 5 to win our first matchup of the night over Oxygen here in Gears Pro League.
Yep. Doesn't matter if you beat them 3-2 or 3-0. A win is a win. And eUnited know that map win percentage it's just bonus. This is something that looks nice. It's all about the W in the end. They might have faltered yesterday, as we both said, they'll call it. No way in hell you're going to beat them 2 times in a row. eUnited back on top after that win.
I said no way in hell, but I'm pretty sure the double was worried that there was a staircase to heaven for Oxygen in that matchup, because he said, my God, these boys from eUnited, we said no way in hell they was going to lose twice in a row, and it looked like they trying to set up to lose twice in a row. They tried their hardest to. They lost both of the controls. That's something to me that needs to be cleaned up quick, fast, and in a hurry. You can't basically keep spotting teams two maps in a best-of-5 series. It's not for your benefit. It's not in your best interest to do that. We will go to the replays now of this checkout execution, and it's going to be pretty Powerz heavy if you don't mind me saying.
Nah, I do believe it is as well. As you kind of saw it time and time again, we casted it. These shots right there, those nail-biting shots, that's pure skill coming out from Powerz. Kind of control the match. Even this little bait right there. That bait wasn't necessarily a shot that was going, or Explosive was looking for a ton of damage. He was looking to just keep him weak, get him to peek out so he could solidify the elimination. And there goes that last round that did come down into the books. First blood as the box did get taken down. And that was something, I think it was the last 3 rounds in a row. Oxygen was just unable to stop Powerz from getting out with those instants.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I mean, Powerz, he took that map 5 over. There is no way, shape, or form about it. He was the dominant X factor. He continued to apply pressure. And that's one of the things in execution when people talk about single life game modes. If you have somebody popping off, if you have somebody that's positioning themselves to really make the other team make every possible right move in the world, you really have a place and a position to just hold people down and win maps succinctly.
Yeah.